Hello, YouTubers, and the YouTube universe. I hope all of you are doing well, staying healthy, and riding out the viral wave. So, this video is going to be about religion. Not a religion, but just religions in general. There's a lot. Um, and to try and pick one out would be like very, very difficult, so I'm not going to do that. I confuse you guys. I guess this is history related. You might learn something. Um, religion is not really a main topic right now, nor has it ever been. In fact, it's kind of an archaic way of thinking, I guess. The way I see humans progressing. Some people are not progressing in that direction, which is fine. This is, you're free. You can do whatever you want. But it's interesting. It has a lot of historic value. Religions in general. Um, the main ones being obviously the big three, I call them: Judaism, Christianity, and Islam. They all kind of were birthed, not at the same time, but from the same area, pretty much. Jerusalem, Middle East, North Africa, all had a huge impact and all worshipped that form of religion or religions at one time or another. I'm sure you had one generation of family worshiping Judaism, and then, down the line, they became Christians. And maybe those people became Muslims. Never reverse, usually, the other way around. But, actually, before all that, you had, paganism. Romans, Greeks, Persians, they had their own ways of, I don't even know if I could call it paganism, because I think it's more of like a Viking thing. But anyway, the worship of statues honoring the gods above. Everyone kind of had, a god with like-minded meaning. Like, the Romans had Jupiter, which was like to the Greek Zeus, and so on and so forth. So, they erected statues or totems and worshiped them. Much how like icons are big today in Christianity. Uh, well, there was a lot of controversy over it. They tried to get rid of it actually at some point, but it didn't work out. So that's why a lot of churches are mostly decorated. Not all sects are the same. Some have more pictures than the other. They worship different, but yeah, that's they all have their own take on it. Religion is a very confusing topic because with every major religion, they're like breakaways, and the list could go on and on. But that's not why I'm here. Um, so those three, all being birthed around the same area. Whether it be Jerusalem, Middle East, North Africa, they all had a part. The big three, Judaism, Christianity, Islam. Um, I want to say they're from like the same corporation, different divisions, pretty much, And you could have likely had one family follow Judaism, and down the line, their ancestors or descendants become Christians. Maybe after them become, followers of Islam. It could have happened. I don't know. I haven't really read a case like that, but more often it probably happened back then. Um, as far as Hindu and Buddhism go, I'm really well versed in that, so I can't comment too much on it. But I know that Buddhism is very spiritual, much like Hindu. Um, Obviously, with the Indian Hinduism, they follow a long list of gods that represent different elements and whatnot, and it's very, very fascinating. That deserves a video and an explanation on its own. Buddhism, you've seen pictures of Buddha, you know, um, and it's very a spiritual, I guess I want to say very spiritual, touching religion. Buddhism, it's all about peace, finding your inner strength and, all that stuff. Where the Judeo-Christian religions I'm going to say they were birthed from the old pagan ways and transformed into stuff we see today. And as the years went by, they were modified to each individual's liking. Some branch broke off. Maybe they read the Bible different or incorporated different elements. Whole lot of homework involved in that. This is why colleges have theology as a course, if you ever want to deep dive. The benefits is, well, the more you know about what other people worship, I think it opens not only your mind, but you get rid of things like racism and being prejudiced against one person because they pray different than you. I mean, this should be all common sense already, but to reinforce that, learning about different cultures and religion and the way people worship, yeah, I could see the benefits of that. It would open up a person's mind and not hate, thy neighbor or something, Over the course of history, as religions evolved, people went to war over it. You had crusades, modern crusades, and just, more crusades. I'm not going to point fingers and say what side was innocent or guilty. I mean, I think everyone had their own hand in causing trouble over the name of their God, which a lot of the times the translations, translate to God. So, God has a lot of names, but he's the same person. You know what I mean? I really hope people know that. I feel like I shouldn't have to tell you guys here, but there's a lot of names for the same person, and it's not like the Jews call their God Bill, and our God is named Paul. Like, that's just not. It's God, okay? It's just like a general, ambiguous title. All right, and it's strange that God resembles Zeus. Whenever you picture God or gods in your head, you always think of like a big dude with a long white beard and long white hair. Looks a lot like Zeus or Father Time. Anyway, I see a lot of parallels, and I don't read the Bible or other Bibles for that matter, but when I'm with my family, I'm just going around the aisles of, let's say, like Barnes and Noble, bookstore. I'll go to the section, I'll pick up the Quran or whatever, or the Torah, or the Bible, the many volumes of Bibles they have. Why is there so many? And you start seeing the parallels. Even in Greek mythological stories, I see biblical stories, just told different, but similar enough, where you could point out and say, I've read this before, It's strange, I know, but it's all true. It's all there. And it actually connects the dots, which I think is cool and a real eye-opener. And once again, the reason why I'm talking about this is because as, we're struggling right now as a nation, there's still violence on the street, there's still drug dealing, and there's still hate out there. Not just, if you cut off someone in line, or you take someone's can of beans or something, whatever, their toilet paper because we're in a pandemic. No, there's still people fighting over, whose, biblical, book is better, or, which God is right, wrong. And it's all the same. It's all about the character of the person, I think, There's an old saying, you'll never find a atheist on the battlefield. And I think, they're right. I mean, I'm nothing against atheists or Scientologists, but one is a little too out there for me. I love sci-fi and all, but just, nothing. I just can't see, Scientology as a religion to grip on. It just doesn't make any sense to me. Atheists in general having dealt with a lot of atheists, and they just kind of lost their faith because they feel like it was holding them back. Why should I, wait for the guy with the long hair to come over and bless me and absolve me of all my sins when I can do it myself? Totally know where you're coming from there, but that's not what it's about. Like, other people, I mean, especially now, are not going to wait for some holy figure to come and lift them from the pain that's, threatening them or whatever. No, they go to religion for spiritual guidance and help, and I don't think that's a weakness. I think that's just, I don't want to say coping either, just, a way of dealing with certain things. It's like having that friend to talk to. Imagine if he wasn't there, what are you going to do? Play on your phone, you know? But, sometimes you need more than a computer screen to look at and, feel better about yourself. And for some people, that's praying or talking to an icon or a statue or whatever, There's a reason why religion is still around and not exterminated. Even though I do find with every generation, modern generation, millennials and up, religion is not an importance anymore because its value is not, there. It's a very progressive society, and I see why it's kind of like a thing of the past now. But it'll still remain as long as there's places of worship, as long as people have thought, and as long as there's history. Religion will always find its way into people, Even if it's just a subject to study, it's, it's interesting, it's fascinating. And, nations built beliefs around it. So it's a powerful thing. It's dangerous in the wrong hands. There's a lot of radicals out there. And hopefully, it's not taken, I'm going to say as serious, but not in a literal sense, but like, that's not what I'm trying to say. Just to help someone along, pretty much. That's what I'm trying to get at here. I hope religion is used to help guide people and not, make them go crazy or, make violence. There's other things I want to talk about too. So back in the day, when different tribes or groups of people that saw, their holy book, which one was better, which one was they didn't think was better, they would, war with each other, and whatever group they would conquer, they would force them people. So it happened a lot. Like I said, Crusades, the Roman days. They would try to force one's beliefs onto another society. They would get backlash. Even when it came to slavery, slaves would be conquered, and they would have the benefit of knowing that if I converted to my master's religion, I could kind of reap the rewards and maybe, gain my ranks with the risk of losing your identity, maybe, but still, you become a new person of importance. That's a shitty way to look at it, but that's what happened. These things happened. And now, certain groups of people, they pick religions based on how they feel, what, better represents them, and I hope they do it for the right reasons. I can't tell you how many times I heard people go saying, well, this person I'm worshiping since I was 5 years old looks nothing like me, so how can I relate to someone who looks nothing like you? Well, we really don't know what, God or the gods look like. We have good, art representations of them, artistic, historic representations, but, are they described? No. We know what, the quote-unquote offspring or what they may have looked like to people from memory, but like I said, if you don't know yourself, it's hard to grasp that, When you look at a picture of Jesus or Buddha or, Krishna, the average person will be like, no, I have nothing to relate to any of these people. They look nothing like me. And it's foreign. And people, tend to bail, you know, especially when you're young. It's a form of rebellion. Think about it. You've been tied down by the same religion for probably centuries, right? And breaking away and converting to something else or nothing at all is a way of rebelling and saying, I'm tough, I'm independent, I'm going to do this on my own, or I'm going to follow a different sect that my former people may have hated, but I'm going to look for them for advice now, because maybe I can relate to them. And these are why people normally change or convert to other religions. Sometimes it's overprotection. Or just an arranged marriage. The husband is a follower of some religion where it's not compatible with the wife, so the wife has to, make up her mind, stuff like that. But, it's all fascinating how at the end of the day, though, they all kind of like, look towards the heavens. Like, I never seen a person, I guess if you're like a, Satanist or whatever, it's like, hey, I'm going to worship looking at the floor, or whatever. I don't know what Satanists do. I don't know. That's another thing I have to dive into. Probably deserves a video of its own, or maybe not. I don't know. But when people worship, they kind of always look towards the sky. Maybe God's an alien. I'm not saying he's an alien, but I'm saying he's an alien. No, I'm just kidding. Look at the Egyptians. I'm going to talk about worship. They really, really love their deities, and to this day we're still seeing statues. We're finding tombs decorated with Ra or all the other I don't study Egypt that much. I should, but I don't know all the gods off the top of my head, but there's a lot of Egyptian gods that represent a lot of things, much like the Greeks or the Romans. Thoth is another one. So I could go on and on. My point is, religion is big. I think it's here to stay. I mean, people are going to do what they want to do and either believe in something else that they feel like they should. But, odds are if you're born with the same religion, you're probably going to stick with that, or, just be spiritual. I like that, Spiritualism is like, okay, I believe in a higher power. I'm just not going to go crazy over it. I'm going to continue doing what I do and, not feel guilty, It's kind of like being Episcopalian. I'm Episcopalian. And it's a weird word, I know. It's another offshoot of Christianity. I'm not going to deep dive into it. It's not necessary. But being Episcopalian is like, being Catholic, just without the guilt. So, yeah, most religions, I think, as they were popular, kind of faded through the time. Like I said, I don't see people, grasping onto new or creating new religions. I mean, if they do, that's great. I think that's on a cult level, and weird, but, people do it anyway. And, yeah, I'm trying to think if I have anything else to add. My main reason behind this video is because, once again, I see the world separating from its humane self, and humanity's kind of driving. And we all come together, usually by the same thing. Now, despite how we pray might be different, or how we not pray at all, or, and I worship, a space deity. At the end of the day, it's something that we attach, that we could find a little release and help us out throughout the day. And I think that's good. I think it's good that we still have that. Or something. Maybe it's playing video games. I don't know. But being spiritual, being religious, I don't think there's nothing wrong with it. I think it's wrong when people are forced to do something they don't want to do. But, once again, you have the freedom to do that, and it's an incredible thing, Well, that's all I got to say. I hope I didn't draw, and it's almost like a 20-minute video. I didn't mean it for be this long, but I figured it was an interesting topic. I I didn't try to insult anyone or whatever. I didn't really, use too many labels when I mentioned religions. I kind of did like, you know, this person, that person, kind of, leave it open, and for interpretation. And just, at the end of the day, look, we're all human. We all, one way or another, have the same problems, and we're looking for the same solutions. That's, some form of serenity. Whether it's praying to whatever God you believe in, um, or reading from a different Bible than, your neighbors. We're all looking for something to hold us together at the end of the day. Even if it's watching a video of someone else talk about their daily life. Hey, you know, this is a world where people worship, social media. So there's nothing new under the sun. But, at the end of the day, I think we could all come together sensible and not violent, and, maybe learn a little thing or two about something that, we normally wouldn't touch upon. Because that could destroy hate. And that's what I'm preaching here. Alright, guys. Thanks for watching. Hope you're all, doing what you're doing to stay sane and not sick. And just, stay healthy. I'll keep saying it till this stuff's over. Alright, guys. Let me know what you think. Alright. Take care of yourselves and peace.